Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Firstly, thank you to the participant for taking the time to join the discussion tonight. Respect to Mem Rosma as the lecturer for the English for academic purposes course and everyone present here. Tonight, let me introduce myself. My name is Adil Fauzan Katami as the moderator of Group 14, along with three other friends. There is Widya Febrianti, Brenda, and Rido Wildani. Our presentation tonight will discuss the boundary dispute that occurred in the South China Sea over an island called the Spratly Island. An ownership dispute in the South China Sea based on United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, Book 3, 1982. Without further ado, let's begin the first discussion. It start for me. Okay. The importance of the sea in relation between a nation has led to the importance of international law. The purpose of this law is to regulate the multiple uses of the sea, namely as a highway and as a source of wealth and power. It is understandable that the sea is an important tool in international political relations. Next slide. The ownership or right of a state to the sea area has been regulated since 1958, namely with the establishment of UNCLOS 1, 1958, UNCLOS 2, 1960, and finally the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, 1982, gave birth to 8 zoning arrangements or regimes of the law of the sea, namely island waters, archipelagic waters, including straits used for international shipping, auxiliary zones, exclusive economic zones, continental shelf, and international ship areas. Okay, it's for me. Next presentation is presented by Widya Febrianti.
Okay, thank you, Adil. Two aspects that make the South China Sea and the Spratly Island important. Astronomical location. The South China Sea is an important region due to its strategic position as a trade shipping route and international communication route connecting the Indian and Pacific Ocean. And natural resources is in the Spratly Island region contain a large amount of oil and natural gas. The Spratly region has oil and natural gas reserve of 17.7 billion tons, which is larger than Kuwait's oil reserve 13 billion tons. Next slide. Definition of island according to UNCLOS 3, 1982, Article 121, Paragraph 1 state, island is land formed naturally surrounded by water and which is above the surface of the water at high tide when viewed from the perspective of international law, namely UNCLOS 3 of 1982. There are several articles contained in UNCLOS law relating to the Spratly Island claim, namely Article 76, UNCLOS 1982, regarding the continental shelf, the outer limit of the continental shelf of a coastal state shall be declared to a depth of 200 nautical miles of beyond that to a depth of water which permit the exploration and exploitation of natural resources. Article 15, UNCLOS 1982, regarding the center line in the delimitation of two coastal states, to determine the center line of the territorial sea of two confronting or adjoining states, it shall be measured from the middle distance of each of the nearest point and of the coastline of each state. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Widya Febrianti for this presentation. Okay, next presentation will be presented by Rido Wildani.
Okay, thank you Adil. Seperti Iceland based on UNCLOS 3 authorized on institution for international dispute settlement. Number one, International Court of Justice. The International Court of Justice is based in the how the function of the court is the resolve case of international dispute whose subject are state. Number two, International Criminal Court. Aim to release the rule of international law and ensure the perpetrators of international crimes. The jurisdiction or author possessed by International Criminal Court is to dice case against perpetrators of serious crimes by citizens of state that have ratified the state of the court. The next slide. Dispute settlement by UNCLOS 3 of 1982. Ocean Grabber the group introduce the marine principle which become known as the free sea principle, mare liberum, was that the existence of free seas has the right to be exploited by anyone but cannot be owned by anyone. Then, on this basis, the islands are claimed by regional countries. However, is resolving the dispute over ownership of the Spratly Island based on the Convention on the Law of the Sea. Peaceful settlement of the dispute is first sought. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Rido Wildani for the presentation. Okay, the next slide will be presented by Brenda.
Okay, thank you, Adia. Settlement of the Spratly Islands ownership dispute based on UNCLOS 3, 1982. States parties shall settle dispute between them concerning the interpretation or application of the present convention by peaceful means in accordance with Article 2, Paragraph 3 of the Charter of the United Nations, and for this purpose shall seek settlement in the manner indicated in Article 33, Paragraph 1 of the Charter. Article 280 of UNCLOS 3 provides for the settlement of dispute by any peaceful means chosen by the parties. Nothing in this chapter shall prejudice the right of any contraction states to agree at any time to settle dispute between them concerning the interpretation or application of this convention by any peaceful means of their own choosing. Settlement efforts to resolve this conflict have been made since the 1970 through both bilateral and multilateral effort. In this effort, several things have been agreed upon, such as cooperation in the management of the Spratly Island region, as well as the sharing of natural resources. However, this conflict has not been resolved because there is no agreement on the ownership of the island. ASEAN, as a Southeast Asian regional organization, has played an active role in effort to resolve the conflict in the region.
Okay, thank you for Brenda for their presentation. Okay, the next is the Q&A sessions. Participants who wish to ask question, please raise your hands. Okay, we have Adisti Putri in here. Adisti Putri, you can unmute your speakers to ask your question, please.
Okay, thank you, Adil. I am Aditi from group 13. I want to ask, is Indonesia involved in the South China Sea dispute? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Adisti Putri. Okay, we have two questioners. Okay, who wish to ask question, place your hand. Okay, we have Septiana Damayanti. You can unmute your speakers, please. Hello, Septiana.
Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Septiana Damayanti from Group 6. I want to ask, how does the principle of freedom of the seas introduced by Hugo de Groot in 1609, correct me if I'm wrong, relate to the claims of ownership of the Spratly Island by the countries in that region? And how is the peaceful settlement of disputes regulated according to the Law of the Seas Convention? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Septiana Damayanti for this question. Okay, now we have one questioners who wish to ask question. Please raise your hand. Okay, we have Gracela Rembang from Gracela. You can unmute your speakers.
Hello guys, my name is Gracela Rembang from Group 6. I want to ask how to establish a line maritime territorial boundaries adjacent to each other so that no more conflicts between countries can be avoided.
Yeah, thank you for this. Grace, you can repeat the question because I can hear you well.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
Okay, the question is how to establish a line maritime territorial boundaries adjacent to each other so that no more conflicts between countries can be avoided.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Clear. Thank you, Grace.
You.
Okay, now we have three questions. Thank you for your questions. Before that, allow us to discuss it first. Please wait a few minutes. All right, we have finished our discussion. And now to answer question number 1, it will be answered by Widya Febrianti. Hello, Widya.
All right, let me introduce myself first. My name is Yudi Febrianti, and I will answer the first question. The question is, how does the principle of freedom of the sea introduced by Hugo de Groot in 1609 relate to the claims of ownership of the Spratly Island by the countries in the region, and how is the peaceful settlement of dispute regulated according to the law of the Sea Convention? And the answer is, the principle of freedom of the sea introduced by Hugo de Groot in 1609 state that the open seas have a right to be exploited by anyone, but cannot be owned by anyone. Claim of ownership of the Spratly Island by countries in the region are based on his principle, the peaceful settlement of dispute and regulated with the law of the Sea Convention, where the first law resolution of through peaceful means as outlined in the convention, and this ownership claims often contradict the principle of freedom of the seas. The law of the Sea Convention seeks to regulate the resolution of dispute by emphasizing peaceful settlement, including negotiation, mediation, and arbitration. However, its implementation is often complicated due to dispute over territorial claims and the rich marine resources in the area. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for Widya for this answer. To Septiana Damayanti, if that's enough with the answer.
Okay, enough, Widya. Thank you for your explanation.
Okay, you're welcome, Septiana. Okay, we move to the question number 2. It will be answered by Brenda. Brenda, you can unmute your mic.
Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Brenda. I will answer a question from Adisti. The question is Indonesia involved in the South China Sea dispute? The answer is Indonesia has no direct claims to territory in the South China Sea. However, Indonesia is monitoring the situation in the region because of its strategic, economic, and maritime security interests, and is pushing for a peaceful resolution using international legal mechanisms such as UNCLOS. Even though it is not a party directly involved in territorial claims, Indonesia still has a role in maintaining stability in the region. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brenda, for the answer. To Adisti Putri, if that's enough with the answer.
Enough. Thank you, Brenda.
Okay, you're welcome, Adisti Putri. Okay, now we have a last questions, and it will be answered by me. Okay, the question is how to establish a line maritime territorial boundaries adjacent to each other so that no more conflict between countries can be avoided. Okay, the answer is the determination of the boundary line of the sea area is divided into two, namely the namely is the determination of the boundary of the territorial sea area and another one, and the determination of boundary line of the exclusive economic zones and the continental shelf. The determination of territorial sea boundaries is regulated in Article 15 of the 1982 Convention on the Law of the Sea, which states that in case of the coast of two countries located opposite or adjacent to each other, and for the determination of the boundary line of the exclusive economic zone between countries that are facing and adjoining is regulated in Article 74 of the 1982 Convention on the Law of the Sea. In that provisions of the paragraph 1, it is stated that the delimitation of the exclusive economic zone between confronting and adjoining states must be carried out by agreement on the basis of international law as stipulated in Article 38 of the Statute of the International Court of Justice to achieve a fair solution to the problem. That's its answer to Graciela Rembang. If that's enough with the answer.
It's clear enough. Thank you, Adil.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, before thank you for your questions. Before I close this presentation, I will read the conclusion of the presentation first. The conclusion is the settlement of the Spratly Islands ownership dispute under UNCLOS 3 of 1982 is that states parties shall settle disputes between them concerning the interpretation or application of this convention by peaceful means in accordance with Article 2, Paragraph 3 of the Charter of the United Nations, and for this purpose shall seek settlement by the means indicated in Article 33, Paragraph 1 of that Charter, Article 2080 of UNCLOS 3, namely as regards the settlement of disputes by any peaceful means chosen by the parties. Nothing in this chapter shall prejudice in right of any of states parties to agree at any time to settle disputes between them concerning the interpretation or application of this convention by any peaceful means of their own choosing. Okay, thank you for your participation who attended. We apologize for any mistakes for our group. I hope this presentation is useful for all of us, and hopefully we can all meet again on another occasions. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, guys.
See ya guys, udah join.